and everything is great, it's time to go online and Google some obstacles to put right the fuck in front of you. Percent, man, for me to start this journey that I had to go back to where it started from. And I came from that man. That man is a part of me. I had to accept that. Had to accept that a lot of my insecurities, why that man beat me, why that man beat my mom, why that man got in my head, and everybody said he had a fucked up life. I had to study him. And I had to realize, I had to find peace with all that. I had to realize that what he did, it wasn't like he hated me. Mm-hmm. He hated himself. And so once you start to grow up, and like I say, take the different vantage point, I had to forgive that man. Even though I didn't say sorry, he never said sorry. We had our last conversation at 22 years old, and he died about 4 or 5 years ago. That was the last time I talked to him at 22 years old. I think it hurt him because he saw me become a man that he was very proud of, and he didn't have much to do with it. But once again, I didn't hate him for that. He was a lot of the fuel, man. But I will say this, anger was never my fuel. A lot of people back in the day, so I gotta say, I've never said this before. I was actually telling my fiance this the other day. People think anger was my fucking fuel. Just so, yeah, anger can be a fuel. Anger got me to look into things to become better. I want to show him. But I can tell you one thing, when you're suffering and you're fucking at the wit's end and you want to fucking quit, that anger is gone, brother. Just thinking about, let's get the fuck out of here. So I realized this anger ain't shit. I didn't think about my dad beat me up. I didn't think about kids calling me nigga. I didn't think about any of that shit. I thought about, man, this fucking water is cold as balls, man. I get the fuck out of here. So I realized anger was no fuel for me. It may have got me to say, I'm gonna be somebody. Anger got me caught up in some serious ego trips, man.
Yeah.
Kindling, man. Yeah. It's just kindling, like, all these fires that happen out here in California, man. So tragic what happened out here. But those fires start by a little motivation. And this is what I'm looking at, man. It's like a little spark starts these big fires. It was so crazy. And that's why I look at motivation. Motivation is just a spark, but those little sparks, if somebody comes by real quick with some water, that fire's down, it's out. But if you come by and that little fire, no one touches it, and that little fire, which is motivation, which is kindling, and that kindling grows off to, like, they call it 1 hour fuels, 2 hour fuels, 10 hour fuels, 10,000 hour fuels. You want that thing to boil over and catch a nice big log. It's gonna burn a long time. Then that big log starts catching everything on fire. This is your soul. So motivation a lot of times can be fucking just put some water on it, puts it out. That motivation needs to turn into drive, passion, obsession to what you want to become. And once you become obsession or driven, it's a fucking inferno. So now you got to call in tons of firefighters and call in for help for here, calling for help from there. And they're not putting that shit out. Only thing that can take that thing out, it's got to burn itself out. Me, it's a daggone, it's a compliment. It's a compliment, man, to be, and a lot of times it can fuck you up. It can ruin your life. You can be obsessed, but I'll tell you one thing. If you want to be great, you want to be the baddest motherfucker ever at what you do, you could be misunderstood by everybody because you're going to be so fucking obsessed and so driven to get there. That's what it takes.
That's the truth.
It takes every second of your fucking life. Anybody says balance? Yeah, balance is important for a lot of fucking people. It is. But if you want to fucking go to that edge where people do not like you, don't understand you, question everything you fucking do, you've arrived. When you are misunderstood to the point where fucking people think you're psycho and you're nuts and you're this and that, why are you in the fucking gym at 1 o'clock in the fucking morning? You just got to doing an op for fucking 13, 14 hours after Ranger School, man, at the gym. What's wrong? You will never understand what is wrong with me. And that's why I'm so fucking glad you don't, because I'm in the right fucking spot. When people don't understand you anymore, you're in that spot of obsession and drive where people are like, what the fuck is wrong with this guy? I don't want to talk to you, man, because you're not going to get it. You're not going to get it.
Boom.